Hey everybody, in Leaving California World. It's David Barry. Here's another episode 21 of Money Matters, because it actually really does. Terry, it's the end of September. You know what we're going to say tomorrow? The election is next month. And Terry, you said that it doesn't matter who gets elected. There's still going to be a lot of people leaving California. Good morning, Terry. How are you?
Great to see you, David. I don't think California is going to do anything to hold on to their taxpayers. I don't know. They're just going to keep doing what they do, and people are going to keep leaving. I don't see that changing anytime soon, regardless of who wins the presidential election.
And we got hurricanes, we got all kinds of craziness, and we like to bring you the news, not just money matters stuff, but I mean, this is really about if you're thinking about leaving California and you want to sell or buy a new home, you really need to tune in. And hopefully, a lot of you guys have been getting good advice from us. And so keep on viewing. And Monty, how are you? It's good to see you. Good morning, sir.
I'm good. Happy to be back in Dallas. I was in Nashville all weekend in the hurricane rains. It rained pretty much the whole weekend, but we still had a good time enjoying Tennessee.
You know, it's funny, Monty. A lot of our members, that's one of the biggest things that they ask us. And we have a lot
Hmm.
of people they say, oh, I couldn't ever live in Tennessee. They have too many tornadoes there, or they let weather really be a factor. But I think that's where, when you have a professional realtor that does this every day, they can like give you the facts and you don't want to just guess. I mean, do you have any take on that before we dive into the Money Matter stuff?
Yeah, I do. Well, I live in Dallas, Texas, which is the hail capital of the U.S. There's more hail here, but has my home ever been hit with hail? Yeah, but the roof has never needed to be replaced. The windows have never been broken. My car's never gotten dented. So, as much as you hear in the news and the media sensationalizes hurricanes and hailstorms and tornadoes, the likelihood of you actually having that catastrophically hit you is very, very low. And even when it is, there's insurance that's different in these places to cover such events. So, just take a breath and don't miss out on the wonderful opportunities that you could have in those places just because of some fear that somebody sold you in the news.
Well, as I opened the show today, I was saying that we're filming this on the last day of September. So here we
Mm.
are going into the last quarter of 2024. Monty, I know that I don't remember which trophy back there or which award you have, but I think right behind one of those awards is a crystal ball. And we want you to share that crystal ball with everybody for the last quarter of 2024. What's going on?
Well, that is not what I do every week here. What I do is help people understand what is going on and how to make better decisions. There is such an award as the Crystal Ball Award, and I know a guy who's won it three times. So there are those people that tend to forecast what's coming, but even those people get it wrong a lot of times. So I'm not going to claim that I know exactly what's going to happen, but we do know where we're headed with the information that we've been given, what we can do in the next month, 2 months. That's going to help you make a more informed decision. So, highlights from this past week were that the consumer inflation continues to moderate while the home prices hit another record high. Plus, we had housing market activity slowly increasing on the heels of these lower mortgage rates. So let's break that down. Let's go with the inflation first. What does that look like? The consumer inflation trending in the right direction. So August's personal consumption expenditures, that's the PCE, the Fed's favorite measure of inflation. It showed that the headline inflation rose 0.1% from July, while the year-over-year reading fell from 2.5 to 2.2. Core PCE, that's the Fed's preferred method, which strips out the volatile food and the energy prices, that one rose 0.1% on the month. The year over year reading ticked a little higher from 2.6 to 2.7, and that's still near the lowest levels in 3 years. So the bottom line is that trend of monthly core PCE readings have been favorable and in line with what the Fed wants to see. In fact, if we annualize the last 4 months of readings, the core PCE would be at 1.77%, which is below the Fed's 2% target. Plus the shelter costs that remain the largest contributor to inflation. That's really important to know. And then they're still overstated due to the lag effect. We know that also. So inflation would be even lower if more real-time shelter costs were better reflected in the report. So we are going where we want to go. We're going where the Fed wants us to be. This is really good news overall. Now, you did see mortgage interest rates tick up after the Fed cut the rate. We talked about that last week. They're in a spot, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, a little bit further, where they should be moving lower. We should see improvement in the next few weeks. The new home sales, though, that was pretty exciting. That beat the estimates of what they thought it was going to be. The new home sales that's reported measures the signed contracts on new homes that declined 4.7% from July to August, though it was about 716,000 unit pace that was above the forecasts, and that's the third highest level this year. Sales in July were also revised higher to 451,000, that same 416 versus 751. So 716 versus 751. And that is the highest level of 2024 so far, the July number that they revised. And so the bottom line there is that the decline in the mortgage rates this summer has clearly led to an increase in activity among buyers. We always said that was going to happen. From the first Money Matters show, we said 1% drop in rates, 5 million new buyers in the market. It is happening. However, more available supply, those are completed homes ready for buyers to move into, that's still needed to meet the buyer demand. So there's still a shortage here. We got to get more houses. Of the 467,000 new homes that are available for sale at the end of August, only 105,000 of those were completed. So the rest of those are either under construction or they're not even started. The median home price of $420,600 that we got in that report also marked a 2.9% drop from July. But this was not due to the falling home prices. If anything, we're going to see in a minute, home prices are on the rise. They continue to rise, not just in my market, not just in Las Vegas, not just in Orlando. They're rising nationally. The median home price is representing the mid price of sales. So it's important to know that that's different. That's not something midpoint. This is the median. That's just representing the mid price of sales. And since we saw a larger mix of lower end homes sell in August, that median home price fell slightly comparatively. That's the only reason for that.
Wow, that's a lot of information. And
Yes.
we keep saying on our shows, we keep saying, don't do this on your own. I mean, how in the world? I'm a licensed realtor, and I think I'm pretty good about keeping up with trends and everything, but I don't even have that much information. So again, I have to remind you guys, you really want to use people that do this every day. And I was kind of jokingly talking about the election, but it is a serious matter. And Terry said it, either side, whatever side you go on. You touched on this last week, and for our members, Monty, can you remind us what you said last week? Because there's a lot of people, Terry and I talked about this the other day. People are waiting until the election, and then they're going to take action. What would you tell a client or one of our members that says, you know what, I'm going to wait till the election and then I'm going to act? Can you address that?
Yeah, I would tell you reconsider. Just look at the numbers, have a conversation, and consider what it would look like to not wait. Here's why. We saw another record high for home prices. We got the report out, the Case-Shiller Home Price Index, that's considered to be the gold standard for appreciation. If you've been watching our show, you know that appreciation trumps interest rate any day of the week. That appreciation, you're never going to be able to find a better opportunity there. And so that report tells us what it was. And that showed that home prices nationwide rose 0.2% from June to July after the seasonal adjustment. And that broke the previous month's all-time high. So the home values in July were also 5% higher than a year earlier, following 5.5% gain in June. So we're seeing continual appreciation. And so anytime you're delaying, you're just missing out on what you could be grabbing there with more appreciation. We also know that there's going to be craziness around the election. There just is. And so I would want to buy a home with peace and confidence and not have to compete with as many people as these rates trend lower. So just to give a real example, if you're in Orange County, California, and you're saying, I need to move, I want to move to Dallas, Texas, cool. Then Alex Abud is going to help you in Orange County. He's absolutely the best realtor in Orange County. Alex is going to help you. He's going to sell your home for a phenomenal price. He knows that these home prices are going up. And so he's going to capture that. He's going to hand you off to Brianna Castillo in Dallas, Texas, who's literally amazing, best, runs a team that is just flawless. If you've ever read the book Unreasonable Hospitality, that's a good way to describe her in the way that she gives that Southern hospitality. So you're going to work with her to find a house, negotiate for the price. You're going to win big on both ends, not just one end. You're going to get to win on both ends because of the people you deal with. It's not about what you know, it's who you know. But more important than even that is what you do with who you know. And so we gotta do that. The Case Shiller also did this other report that's really fascinating. It's the 10 city report and the 20 city report. So they pull 10 cities out and 20 cities out and they look at those. The 10 city report was up 6.8% year over year, and the 20 city report was up 5.9% year over year. So that means we're between 6 and 7% appreciation year over year in the major cities. And that's where we know all of you are going. Those indices show even higher growth than the national figures that we're talking about here of 5%. So in all likelihood, you're moving to a city where you're going to get dramatically better appreciation and growth because the big major markets that people go to, it's going to always outperform it. So please don't wait. Please jump in.
Terry, my goodness, Terry, we are so blessed. And again, I know our members that have been watching our show regularly, you're starting to get the fact that we are blessed and we're so lucky to have Monty Felts, our national lender. And by the way, guys, if you didn't know this, he's in the top 1% of lenders nationwide. So he knows what he's doing. He's really, really a superstar. He just mentioned two of our other superstars in our network. But anyway, Terry, I know you've been quiet today. What else do you want to add?
Well, I think a point that Monty makes is very important for people to understand that houses are appreciating. Houses continue to appreciate. People may think that we're going into recession, things like that. I believe the reason is because so many millions of people are sitting on 2.5%, 3% interest rates. They're not going to sell. They're like, we're paying this house off. We'll hold on to this for 30 years. So that makes inventory a lot less across the country. So you're waiting for people to build houses. You're waiting for people to get divorced, die, whatever, have these life events. So I believe appreciation is going to continue. And let's face it, as we get into uncertain times, people want to put their money into hard assets. They don't want to put their money into the stock market. Why do you think gold is up 30% in the last year and a half? 30%. Gold doesn't make any profits. Gold doesn't make any widgets. They don't make anything. That's a safe haven. And I believe homes are the same way. So if you're putting off waiting for interest rates to get back down to 2.5%, 3%, the rest of your life, but the appreciation will far outweigh anything that you're giving up in an interest rate. And if rates drop, you just refinance your loan. I refinanced my California house many times over the years because rates kept dropping from the 7.5% that I did when I bought my house brand new to eventually getting it way down below that. So my point is that, look, don't just look at the financial aspect, look at your lifestyle, look at your cost of living, look at everything. And that's why Monty is such a great resource. He can help you look at just the ancillary things that go along with. He's not here just to help you get a mortgage. He's here to help you set a plan so that you can escape California if it's what you want to do. Because I think, and I'm just going to say this right now, I believe the next 3 months are going to be chaotic. I just don't think this election is going to go smoothly where 2 days after the election, everyone said, okay, here's the winner and everything's great. We went through Gore and Bush. I did in 2000. I think that's going to be a walk in the park compared to what's going to happen this next quarter. And I think it's just going to create a lot of uncertainty. And what better place to live than in Florida, where I live, Tennessee, Texas, a stable state that's going to keep you safe when things get crazy, as opposed to California where anything goes, basically.
Terry, that's great advice. And I feel like our shows are getting better. Like we're on episode 21 today. So, I mean, they keep getting better. And I don't know, it might be a combination of there's so much information. There's so many things going on. And you really have to be tuned in. Like you really need to know. Because if you want to make the biggest decision of your life, this might be the biggest investment you ever make. You need to have people like us and people like Monty. I mean, you really do. So, Monty, I know we're going to probably be wrapping up here. What else do you got for us today?
Leaving everybody with one really important quote from last week. The S&P's head of commodities, Brian D. Luke, said this: accounting for seasonality of home prices, we have witnessed 14 consecutive record highs in our national index. So despite the negative media, national home prices continue to move higher and provide a significant wealth creation opportunity. Doesn't get any clearer than that.
That's really great news. And again, I want to thank all of our members for tuning into our show. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep this going. And by the way, Terry, I forgot to do a shout out to you. I had to shout out. We just surpassed 190,000 members on our Life After California channel. So we're growing, and we know that we're helping a lot of people leave. So congratulations, Terry, on that milestone.
Thanks, David. And I believe between Life After California and Leaving California combined, we'll have 300,000 members in the next month or two. We're adding 1,000 new members every week to those groups total. And it's just amazing. And that's picked way up in the last few months. So I believe the uncertainty of what's going on in California is causing people to say, you know what, I think we've had it, and it's time to start looking other places. And people like David and myself and Monty can certainly help you with that.
And Terry and I are going to Nashville in 2 weeks. I can't wait. I haven't seen Terry since our Southern Freedom Tour. And if you live in Nashville, definitely send me a message. We'd love to talk to you more about your experience of leaving California. This has been another great episode. Monty, thank you for all you do. And I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you soon.